Okay, we should be live now. Are we? Yes, we are. All right.
All right.
We are
Okay.
live.
Go.
Mr. Dean Ladd, welcome to the live broadcast on the Best Defense channel, YouTube. We are glad to have you here.
Well, I'm glad to be here.
How old are you?
Well, another 5 months, I'll be 100 years old.
Woo!
Just
100 years old.
Big deal. Just 100 years old.
No big deal.
Another 5
No
months.
big deal.
Yeah.
Well, Dean, how are you holding up right now during this coronavirus?
Well, I'm fine. The only thing is I'm slowly having problems. Like my eyes are deteriorating and having a hard time now sorting things out when I'm writing. And I get all confused. Well, okay, I'm going to cut this and put it in over there. And now what? Then I wiped out something I didn't want to wipe out. All that kind of stuff.
Hey, when you're 100 years old, you can do that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, look at here. See, this
Yeah.
is what I've just been working. You see that? That's what I'm working on right now.
Coincidence is recalled. Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. And it's going to be about 30, 40 pages.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we have a lot of people here, and I want to just let everyone know who we have as our guest today.
Oh, you got that card there. Okay.
Mr. Dean Ladd, Lieutenant Colonel, 1st Battalion, 8th Marine Regiment, 2nd Marine Division. I
Yeah.
see that beautiful hat you have there, United States Marine Corps. And I want to read a little bit. As you know, you have these cards that we have. And
Right.
every time a veteran comes on program with us, he gets his card. It's a veteran card. I thought it was a great idea. And
Well, yeah, that was a good idea.
yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. So, Dean, I'm going to read a little bit, so let people know who they're talking with today.
Sure.
Start here.
There you go.
Company C, 1st Battalion, 8th Marine Regiment, 2nd Marine Division, Lieutenant Colonel Dean Ladd. Dean was born in Spokane, December 8th, 1920, and graduated from Belmas Elementary and Rogers High School. He enlisted into the Marine Corps Reserve in April 1939 and completed 1 year at Washington State before being called to active duty November 1940.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
field commission and saw extensive World War II combat in the Pacific with the 2nd Marine Division at Guadalcanal, Tarawa, Saipan, and Tinian.
Right on.
As recalled in his book, Faithful Warriors. He was wounded 3 times, the most seriously during the landing at Tarawa. After 5 years, he returned to get his mechanical engineering degree and was an engineer 3 years at Kaiser Aluminum, 6 years at North American Aviation, and 23 years at Lockheed.
Correct.
Programs. He remained active in the Marine Corps Reserve for a total of 30 years.
Correct.
Lieutenant Colonel. You guys have
Yep.
it. The Dean.
Yeah.
Is
So
that pretty accurate?
Dean
that is
Ladd.
accurate. Only one thing was that we got called to, it was an organized reserve, and I joined in April of 39. In 1940, in November 1940, we were called to active duty, thought we were going to be gone 1 year. Instead, we were gone 5 years.
5 years.
So, and after I was called to active duty, that's when Pearl Harbor hit us
Mhm.
a year later. Right?
Wow.
Yeah, right on. Well, Dean, as you guys know, was participated in our Pacific program last year to Iwo Jima, Saipan, Tinian, and Guam, which was really special because it's even more special because this year the return to the Pacific was canceled due to coronavirus. So last year was the last time any veterans were on the island of Iwo Jima. So it's really special, and I'm really happy that you had an opportunity to come with us last year. And Austin, you want to show a little bit of the video and let people see a little bit because Dean Ladd and
This is Dean Ladd and his comrades going back to the Pacific and with the Best Defense Foundation. So let's check this out.
make it to the NFL was a dream come true. Played 14 years in the NFL, which is great because now it gives me this platform to do what we're doing here with the Best Defense Foundation, giving you gentlemen an opportunity to go back to the battlefields with your brothers. You guys are all going back with the boys that were there.
Take a picture with me?
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Brings a tear to your eye to know that, you know, we're being remembered. This is for all the guys, not just for me.
What beach did you come in on?
Right here, left side of them boulders. I had the old LCVP, I had it in full throttle. We hit an obstruction. That's when I went over the wheel, tore up my sternum, busted my teeth, knocked my nose off.
Come on up the mountain, set yourself free. Come on up the mountain, boy, listen to me. Come on up the mountain, set yourself free. Come on up the mountain, boy, listen to me.
You're here, you guys deserve it. I'm telling you. Thank you.
Come on up the mountain, set yourself free. Set yourself free. Come on up the mountain, boy, listen to me. Come on up the mountain, come on up the mountain. Oh, set yourself free. Oh, set yourself free. Oh, set yourself free.
So what does this mean for you to come back?
Well, it means a lot, you know. I don't want to ever forget this place. A lot of my friends don't like to talk about it, or they want to forget about it, you know. I think about my buddies, and when I think about my buddies, I'm thinking about the war up here.
When the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, everybody in the United States were outraged. And as a result, everybody just became united. All the men and boys wanted to go right in, kick butt, get out, and go on with their lives.
There was nothing there when we were here, and there were coconut trees all along the shoreline, and they were pillboxes. If you left for overseas, you had to be able to swim 75 yards. I couldn't even do that. I learned to swim here. That fresh, clean water. I learned to swim here.
I'm here to pay respect to our brothers who never made it back. You know, they never had the chance to live the life that we lived. In all honor, we'd like to salute them.
It was the spirit of liberty which gave us our armed strength. We now know that that spirit of liberty, the freedom of the individual, and the personal dignity of man are the strongest and toughest and most enduring forces in all the world. From this day, we move forward. We move toward a new era. We move toward a new and better world of cooperation, of peace and international goodwill. We salute you of the armed forces of the United States, wherever you may be.
Nothing's good about war, believe me. There's nothing good about it at all. It's hard to even talk about it today.
What a job you have done. We're all waiting for the day when you will be home with us again. Good luck and God bless you.
Woo!
Great.
I still get goosebumps every time I watch that.
Wow.
Yeah. Hey, look at something here. See this? Look at that.
Look at you. That's you. That's you there. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm describing where 6,000 Marines were killed right up through there. See?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's crazy.
So
yeah.
incredible job.
Dean-
And every time I see that, incredible job. I mean, you just kind of capture the program that we had. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. What do you? Yeah, when you watch that video, you remember, going back, Dean. What was it like for you to go back last year?
It was just incredible. I stood in the exact spot where I almost got creamed, almost just completely wiped out by one of our own artillery rounds. Today, there is a condominium at that particular same location. We drove by it on our bus as we were returning from from Suicide Cliff on Saipan.
Yeah, isn't
Yeah.
it crazy when you look at history? Like you think about,
Oh, wow.
you're like, wow, now people are living like right there,
Yeah.
when it got blown up.
Yeah. Beautiful view from that location. Oh, my gosh.
It is
Yeah.
pretty wild. It was
Yeah.
quite an experience. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were able to go to Saipan and Tinian. In Saipan, you have so many vivid stories in your
On,
book. Yeah, and everything. I mean, you describe it so perfect.
Now, on Tinian, we were at a location where a lot of the civilians jumped to their death at the southern end of the island. But we looked from that point back to where I was company commander, and I saw there were hundreds of Japanese jumped off to their death at that point, just as we approached them.
Yeah.
Wow, that's just incredible.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What were you guys thinking at the time when you guys saw that? Like, whoa, like stop.
Well, we couldn't believe that, we thought that, well, why wouldn't, we had a boat go out, loudspeaker, and no, they just said, no, we're not going to surrender, because they would be an insult to their ancestors and their emperor,
Yeah, no, for sure. And we went right to that cliff too. Suicide.
You were one cliff, you looked north and you saw the next cliff, and that was where my company was when all this happened.
Mhm.
And the next day the island was secured.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we have a lot of people online right now that are waiting to ask
do.
a question.
Yeah.
So, Austin, let's bring in some some guests.
We are gonna do that. Got Dylan Owens coming in.
All right.
Hope you're ready, Dylan. I see him coming in. So Dean, yeah, we're gonna have people coming in. They're gonna ask you questions. You just have a conversation.
Yeah. And a lot
of these people, they never get the chance to meet or talk to a World War II veteran from their different parts of the world, where you guys just aren't hanging out. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, especially right now. I mean, this gives you an opportunity to get out there virtually, I guess, right now, because we have to be safe, and make sure that, that we're safe and not going outside and that kind of stuff. So this gives an opportunity to connect. Hey, there's Dylan.
Yep.
There's Dylan.
Hey, Dylan, we can see you, but I don't know if we can hear you. Say something.
Hi there. Who would you
hear us,
have coming
Dylan?
now? Huh?
Dylan.
Can you hear us? I don't know if you can hear us or not. Dylan, you're live.
He's alive somewhere.
We can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
Can't hear you, Dylan.
Oh, he's gonna turn his volume. Let's give him a few seconds. See if we can figure it out.
Oh no.
I don't know.
He's not muted, so we just can't hear him.
No, your mic's not working, buddy. Here, we'll try him again later on. Try to get back on again.
Yeah, looks like we're having audio trouble with you, Dylan, and we're gonna put you in the waiting room, and then we'll bring you back in on the next one. Get your mic worked out. All right, here we go. On to the next.
Well, we couldn't get his mic working.
Yeah, we'll get his mic. Let's bring in Connor. I know Connor's excited for this.
All right.
Hey, Connor. Can you hear us?
Yes.
All right, we can hear you. You are
Wow.
live with Dean Ladd.
Hi there.
Hello, Mr. Dean Ladd. How are you?
Where are you from?
I live in Lafayette, Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Face.
All right.
Connor, we can't see your face. Fix your camera. We can't see your face.
It just ducks down.
Your camera so we can see you. Yeah, there you are.
And I've heard that you're 99 years old and still going strong, right?
Yeah, another 5 months, I'll be 100 years old.
Oh, yeah.
And all
Crazy.
those that I served with that were combat, they're all dead now. All gone.
Wow.
That's
My
why it's
great grand.
important for you to tell your story and tell their story as well, so that we never forget your service and sacrifice to this country.
What I
My great
suggest, if you want more about me, just type in my name, Dean Ladd, on the internet.
Yeah,
It'll
awesome.
all come up, and you'll find all kinds of pictures, all kinds of. It just goes and goes and goes. No ends to it.
Absolutely. And your book's on
Yeah.
Amazon too, Dean, right?
Yeah, my book's on Amazon. Faithful Warriors. Just go to Faithful Warriors on Amazon.com. The problem is that I don't know they're keeping up with the supply.
Ah,
And Mr. Dean,
Because of that, the price goes up accordingly. You see, that's the problem.
yeah.
Supply
Make
and
sure you talk
demand.
loud, Connor.
before I ask you questions, I'd like to first of all thank you for your service and thank you for sacrificing to our country.
I appreciate your comment.
And what I'd like to do is talk about you, learn about your ancestry. Would you like to tell me who your parents' names were and your brothers and sisters?
Okay, my mother and father were Myron and Gertrude. That's my mother and father, and my sisters Helen, and my brother George, who passed away a couple years ago.
And did your brother happen to serve in the World War II?
Yes, he was in Europe with the combat engineers, and he landed with the first Army Division, and very fortunate to have survived. And then he was almost captured during the time of the what do you call that up north, when the last big counterattack by the Germans.
Is your sister Helen still alive?
She's still alive, and she's about 92 years old. Yeah. How old are you, by the way?
15.
Oh, you're only 15. Wow. Well, you're way ahead of most of your age, I tell you.
So how long did
History.
your parents live?
Well, they lived to be 93 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. And I also go back into royalty connection-wise, and nobody back in those years lived much beyond the 70s, if they're lucky, if they live past the 70s.
During the Marine Corps, how old were you when you first experienced combat?
Oh, well, it was in November. See, combat was on Guadalcanal first, and that was in end of November, 1942.
So who was your regimental commander and who was your division commander?
Oh my gosh, and you're only 15 asking those questions.
He gets into it. He gets into it.
Oh my God.
I love it.
I can't remember some of those names. I've got them all in my book. You're gonna have to order my book from Amazon. It'll answer all of those questions.
And I've heard you tell your story. You mentioned about a guy named Colonel Shroop. Was his name?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, he became the commandant of the Marine Corps, by the way. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you mentioned that he became the commandant of the Marine
Yeah,
Corps.
he did. He became the commandant of the Marine Corps after the war. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he was a general when he retired, right?
Yes. Yeah. Full general. Yeah. At the time on Tarawa, he was a lieutenant colonel at first.
And your division commander was a general also?
General what?
Your
Yeah, he
division
was, of course,
commander.
a general. Yes. Well, no, the division commander was, yeah, that was Smith. Smith. Yeah.
And I've talked to another veteran called Scooter, and he told me about the arguments between the two generals, like the Army general.
Oh, yeah,
and the
that's on
Marine general.
Saipan. That's on Saipan.
Yeah.
And he and I were on the
Love
revisit
Scooter.
back there.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's a long story. That's all mentioned in my book in detail.
And
Go to
do you remember?
deanladd.com.
Yeah, he'll read it too. He'll read it too.
Yeah.
I bet you will. Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you what, you can just go to my website and you can go right to the different pages. You can read many of the pages right directly from that.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, Connor, thanks
Yeah.
for coming by, man. Always good to see you.
Excuse me, best defense.
Yes.
Do y'all happen to know, like, when you went to the 75th anniversary of Pearl Harbor, do you all happen to know J.C. Alston or the other Pearl Harbor survivors?
No.
JC Alston. I don't know. I don't know if we've met him.
That's true.
Doesn't
Wow.
sound familiar.
Well, you
We know lots
definitely
of
are.
Pearl Harbor survivors.
Now, I tell you what, when you go to my website, go right straight to it. Dean Ladd Works. All
Yeah.
right.
I just
Now
put it
you'll
in-
find all kinds of manuscripts about answering a lot of these questions.
Yeah, I just put it, hey, Connor, I just put it in the chat. So just click on that link after you go and
There you go. There you go.
there. And
Hey,
I'll put it in
here's the other
I'll
thing.
put it in the chat section of the YouTube as well.
One other thing. Go to Jocko podcast number 202. That whole book is read. It takes 3 hours to read it, to write it, to go through the whole thing. All the
Wow.
details are there on the podcast.
fantastic. Fantastic.
Go.
Dean, I have like one more question, if that's okay.
Sure.
Of course.
You mentioned about getting wounded in Tarawa. Can you tell us about that and who saved you?
Well, go to my website here again, and it's called Curtains of Fire. That'll be on my website, Curtains of Fire. It's in my book, verbatim also. But anyway, I got shot leading my platoon to the beach. We hit the reef about 600 yards out from the beach and had waded the rest of the way into about half a dozen machine guns shooting at us. I got shot through the abdomen, went through my bladder, and tore up a lot of my intestines. I'm just very fortunate that I was dragged to another landing boat and was back out to the troop transfer and being operated on in about 1 hour. I was dying at that time, and the surgeon had been an abdominal specialist at Mayo Clinic. Look at the odds of that happening.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I recently read in Wikipedia that Colonel Shroop got the Medal of Honor.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, you got the details. I don't know where you getting all those details.
From Wikipedia, yeah.
Oh, Wikipedia.
Teenager with a
Right,
computer,
right.
they find out all kinds of stuff.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, Connor.
All right, Connor,
Amazing.
thanks for coming by, man.
Yeah. Connor, we'll be in touch with you, buddy. We got some ideas planned for you to share some of this stuff with kids your age, part of our education initiative. So we're gonna make sure that we tap into you and get you part of the program. All right, buddy?
All right.
Appreciate it.
Cool.
All right, buddy.
Good to see you.
You
All
too.
right. Bye.
Is that incredible? Dean, is that incredible? The kind of information that he knows, and like he's so.
I can't believe it. Well, it's all available right off the
Yeah, he knows a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
places I
All right, let's
mentioned.
see if Dylan's
It's all
got his
there
microphone worked
in
out.
great detail. Yeah, it's all there.
Yeah.
Let's see if Dylan's got his mic working now. Looks like he's on a different device, maybe.
Dylan, you there?
You hear us, Dylan?
Hello, yeah, I hear you guys.
All right. There you
All
go.
right, we got him.
Great, I'm on my phone now, so hopefully that's better.
I know you've been wanting to get on one of these for a long time. You're finally in.
Yeah. Hello,
All
Dean.
right, so you are live with Mr. Dean Ladd. Have at it.
Can I just say, firstly, this is the best defense. Thank you for all you do. It's absolutely fantastic what you do for these veterans. So thank you,
Hey, we love it.
That means a lot.
What's your first name again?
Dylan.
Okay. And how old are you?
I'm 16.
Okay.
Where are you
All right.
from?
Let's see how much history you know.
Where you from?
Where do you live?
Right now, I'm calling from Hong Kong.
Hong
In
Kong.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
But you sound like you got like a British accent. What's up with that?
Oh yeah, I'm half British.
Okay.
Oh, you're half British and half Chinese.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Very cool.
I have a grandchild who speaks fluent Chinese, and he goes there a lot to China, and he represents the university in California regarding interplay between the university and various students.
Very cool.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's a very interesting situation.
All right. Well, Dylan, you're live. You got questions. He's got answers.
I
Okay,
have a
Dean.
feeling there's going to be a lot of detailed questions, huh? Teenager, my God.
So I know you fought in the Pacific. Did you fight from 1939 to 1945?
Did I fight what?
Did you fight throughout?
39 to 45 is what
Oh,
we
yeah, no, okay. Yeah, I started at Guadalcanal in November 1942. And then I was in and out, you see, of campaigns until the end of August of 43, or 42, actually. Yeah.
Oh wow. And was it just World War II you fought? Because I know you were in the Army for 30 years.
I was in the Marine Corps for 30 years, most of it after the war in the reserve. I spent 30 years being part of the Marine Corps, yes.
Oh.
From
And,
1939 until, well, for 30 years after that.
What was the worst thing that?
69. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. What was the worst thing that you experienced during World War II?
The worst experience?
Yeah.
Well, here again, look at my website. It answers all those questions, but the worst, of course, was on the island of Tarawa, where I was shot through the abdomen, went through my bladder, and tore up my intestines. The only reason I survived was I was operating on within about an hour after I was hit aboard ship, and the surgeon had been an abdominal specialist at Mayo Clinic. Look at the odds of that happening.
Wow. Saved your life.
Yeah.
No, there's just, the odds, you can't explain it. They're 1,000,000 to 1.
Right.
No.
Dean, how does do you still have a scar there? Can you still visit?
Yeah, big scar.
Big scar
scar, probably about almost 6 inches long. Yeah.
above your abdomen? Above your
Yeah,
abdomen?
right. Yeah, it's in the abdomen, just to the left of my belly button.
Wow.
And how did you become a lieutenant colonel?
Well, just staying in the service. Yeah, I got off active duty and decided to stay in the reserve as a captain.
Oh.
Very cool.
Did you have how do I say this? Did you have any sympathy or understanding of what your enemy was fighting for, like the Japs?
Later on, I did. Yes. Oh, absolutely. We became close friends with a couple of Japanese combat. And one was a major that had in charge of artillery shooting at us on Guadalcanal. And the other one was a captain who walked right through his men on Saipan. And that night, 40 more were killed right where I'd walked through. Anyway, I became close friends of these two Japanese veterans.
Wow.
Do you still
You
do you
see,
still keep
the
in-
one I interviewed in Japan. Can you see this right here? That's
Yeah.
him.
Yep.
Yeah.
There, that's him.
Oh wow. You still keep in contact with him? You talk to him frequently?
No, they died years ago.
Oh dear. And am I correct in saying you're 100 years old?
Another
I
5
thought you
months.
will be.
5 more months.
Oh, that's incredible. What's
Yeah.
kept you going all this time?
Because we're fortunate to have the medical care that we have today. People that lived way back before World War II, if you had cancer, you're lucky if you had, they knew how to do the operation and all that sort of thing. Somebody died of cancer, Yeah.
Modern medicine.
I had cancer myself back in 1990.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Are any of your comrades still alive today? Do you know of that? Or
I don't know of any alive, no. Now, there could be the younger ones that were not in combat and they joined as teenagers. Could be some of those.
Right.
But others that served, that were in combat, probably none. I don't know of any anymore.
yeah. What age did you say that you joined the Marine Corps again?
Okay, I joined the Organized Reserve in Spokane, and it was a battalion. And I joined in 1939, April of 1939. And then the following year, we were called to active duty in November. And we thought we were going to be gone 1 year, but it turned out to be 5 years, including World War II.
Yeah, wow.
Well,
That's
cool.
incredible.
Dylan?
You're still in high school, are you not?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how
You
how
call
it's
it
called in
secondary
America.
school. You call it secondary school.
We
huh?
call it secondary school, yeah.
Right. British. That's the British term. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Cool. Dylan, so glad you were able to come in.
Yeah,
I'm going to tell my grandson that I talked to a high school student from Hong Kong, and I wrote a manuscript, by the way, this last year about the missionary effort from going from Canton west, clear up to the up the river, west, up almost to Vietnam.
Wow.
So this was at the period of when the communists took over in China in
website
in 1949.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So now all those names have been changed. Those Chinese names have all been changed.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah. Dylan, it was good to meet you. And hopefully we'll see you again.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
For joining us, buddy.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
Wow.
All right. We got a bunch more people in here waiting.
Wow.
That's
Around the world.
Hong Kong.
Yep.
It's amazing. All these kids were just like, they're so
I
interested.
can't believe it. They're way ahead of our kids on knowledge of history. They're not taught these things in school.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're learning it on their own.
They are. Yeah.
Oh.
It's incredible.
All right. We got some people here, but they're sideways. There you go.
Thanks, John.
Can you hear us?
Hi. Yeah, we can. Can you hear us?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yay! I'm Maria.
How's it going?
Luis, we're in Spain.
You're in Spain.
Yes.
Very cool. Well, you're live with Mr. Dean Ladd. Go ahead and talk.
What's your first name again?
Maria?
Maria. Okay, Maria. How old are you?
Luis.
I'm doing
Luis.
wonderful now that I'm talking to you, sir.
How old are you?
I'm 39.
And I'm 41.
Oh, okay. I've been talking to 15 to 16-year-olds. You're twice that age. All right, go ahead, shoot.
Well, first of all, let me tell you, it's such an honor to meet you, sir. I'm half American, half Spanish, and my family served in the war as well, but they were in Normandy. But you got to live the really, 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 really cruel, terrible part in the Pacific. So
Hey, whereabouts in Spain do you live?
in Madrid, we're
Where?
in Madrid.
Madrid.
Madrid?
What's it near? What city is that near?
It's near Madrid. It's the big
Oh,
one.
Madrid. Oh, I've been to Madrid. Yes. Go ahead. Yeah, the traffic was horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Terrible. All right.
Horrible.
It'd be better to walk rather than drive.
Uh-huh.
On the way to the museum there, Del Prado Museum.
That's
Exactly.
right. That's right. So
Yeah.
you, huh? That's wonderful.
You are more than welcome to come to our house, sir, whenever you want. You have a
You got a
house
place
here.
to stay.
Wow.
For your 100th birthday, head to Spain.
Yeah.
That's right.
Of course.
We'll
100
celebrate here.
When
And
I
you
was
too.
there, the one that had control, the dictator, had just died, and they had black things all over the windows and everything because of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And also at that same time, I saw the new king. He was being as they're going through certain ceremonies with him.
So you are here in
Yeah.
75 then?
What's that?
You are here in 1975?
That was yes, it probably was. Yeah. Yeah.
Just a couple
Well, anyway,
years ago.
what are some of your questions about World War II?
Yeah.
Well, Luis is a history teacher, a high school teacher,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he specializes in World War II.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Wow.
Every year we go to Normandy. Last
You
year.
do? Wow. Well, I'll
was
tell you
our-
what.
Yeah.
Hey, instead of asking questions, why don't you go to my website, Dean Ladd Works, and all of these questions you might have are all in there, and you can. I've written 3 books, co-authored, and there are a lot of manuscripts in there about other details.
Awesome.
About 24 different manuscripts in there.
Wow.
Awesome.
So
We
you
will
go
do
for all the details you want.
And
And
you're
then you sometimes, like a lot of other young people, they're always wanting my signature.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Yeah.
you're a celebrity, Dean.
How about that
Yeah.
autograph?
That's right. You're a rock star. We want to meet you. We don't want to meet rock
Yeah.
stars. We want to meet you.
So, sir, my first question is, I hope you understand me because my English, as you can see, is awful, but,
Sounds
but
good.
let's try.
All right.
What did you feel when Pearl Harbor was attacked?
Well, I had just, I was in what's called a sniper school in a special camp, and it's something that would run a couple of weeks. Immediately that was canceled. And immediately we were in a mode of defending our beaches because we had no idea when the Japanese might attack our West Coast. So that was what's going on. And then a month later, within a month, we were aboard ship heading to American Samoa to prevent the Japanese from capturing that island. That was our lifeline to New Zealand and Australia.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the other kid asked you for your worst memory from the war. I would like to ask you for your best memory from the war.
Well, of course, the main one is when I got shot. Machine gun bullet entered my abdomen.
That was your worst memory. He's asking
That
what was
my
your
worst
best
memory,
memory.
and
What
the
was your
greatest
best memory, Dean?
and the greatest odds were, you know, you want to call them. It's impossible that it could happen, really, but it did.
What was your
God
best
was looking
memory,
after
Dean?
me. Yeah.
What was your best memory?
Well,
A good memory.
I don't know. Probably at the end of the war, when the war was over, that was the best memory, of course.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Oh, yeah,
Makes
absolutely.
sense.
Yeah.
Have you? seen the TV series The Pacific?
What series again?
Pacific?
Oh yeah, Pacific. Yeah, you know
And
that was.
how real is the TV series?
Okay,
to
now
what
let me
you-
explain that. Explain that. Those are wonderful sets, but the script was horrible. You know, it was. There's no reason for it. You know, it's a nothing as far as the story and the theme is concerned. But the sets were incredible.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Listen up, Steven Spielberg. Script is horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. But
Yeah,
but they
yeah.
do
It was
capture.
psychological. Psychological is what it was.
Yeah. But it does capture all the horribleness that you guys had to go through.
Oh yeah.
Considering
Yeah.
the weather conditions and all that.
Yeah.
Correct.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Just crazy.
The bugs, the
Yeah.
rain. Oh,
Well, cool. Well, it was good to meet you guys.
Well,
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us from Spain.
You have a house here in Spain, all of you, whenever you want.
Sir, I'm former
know.
Marine Corps. Semper Fi.
She's from Spain.
I know, I heard.
Okay.
Semper
Semper Fi, sir.
Semper Fi. Thank you. Same to you.
All right. Thanks for coming by. Great to meet you guys.
Thank you. Nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you.
Cool, huh? That's pretty cool. All the way from Madrid,
All the way from Spain.
Spain.
All right. Let's bring someone else in. Let's keep this party going. Let's see. We got here Tobias. Tobias, how's it going?
Hi, everyone. Hey, Mr. Dean, how are you?
I'm doing fine. How old are you?
I'm 16 years old, sir.
16. Now you're the third one that's a teenager. You
Course.
guys know all about the history. I can't believe it.
Well, that's the only thing we can do in our world, sir. We gotta reach to you. That's our job as the future generation, sir. Yes.
Wow. Where do you live? Where do you live?
I live in Colombia, sir.
You're in South America?
Yeah, South America.
Oh, no kidding. Whereabouts? Whereabouts there? What city?
Bogota.
Oh, Bogota. Oh, of course. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, sir. First of all, let me say to you, thank you very much for your service. I really appreciate what all of you guys
Wow.
did back there.
Well, appreciate your comment.
And second of all, you're in very good shape, sir. You're 99, and
I'm 5 months from being 100 years old.
yeah, like you have the greatest memory I've literally seen today.
Pretty good because I've done a lot of writing, you know. I've co-authored 3 books. Go to my website. Just type in Dean Ladd Works, and you'll get all the answers to any questions you might have.
Yes, sir. So, okay, my first question is, why did you join the Marine Corps? Because we know that at that time, the Marine Corps was basically the smallest branch.
Yeah, there's only 20,000 in the Marine Corps at that time. Can you imagine? And it grew to over 500,000 by the time the war was over.
Oh,
Yeah,
Wow.
that's right. So why did you join the Marine Corps?
I joined because there was a friend of my dad's who was in the reserve, and he talked me into it. He says, "Well, if you join today, you'll be able to take an active duty 2 weeks in San Diego." So okay, fine.
So you're a Hollywood man.
He saw that
Yeah,
vacation time. He's like,
yeah. how
yeah.
about that? So I ended up at Camp Elliott.
Yeah. Okay. And do you
Yeah.
remember what was your MOS?
Yeah, I was an infantry officer.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, cool. Wow.
Well, you were asking that doggone this question for a 16-year-old. I can't believe it.
A 16-year-old interested in the military, sir. Yes.
Well, yeah. Okay, that's wonderful.
Of course.
Are you thinking about going in
I
this?
told you it was going to be like this, Dean. I told you. You have kids all over the world to be interested in this stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, we have, yeah.
Yeah.
Dad, you're not able to see them.
No.
So I don't know.
No.
You were wounded in Tarawa, right?
That is correct.
Did you fear death? Were you afraid to die, or were
Absolutely. I was dying. I was dying.
But were you prepared mentally to die for your country?
Well, everybody, think, well, it's not going to be me. Somebody else won't be me.
Okay. Did you fear the Japanese? Because I know that Americans thought that the Japanese were brutal. So did you fear them?
Well, they were an unknown to us all during the time of Guadalcanal. Then at that point of time, now we begin to understand they were very expert at what they were doing, but they were not miracles.
Okay.
They were all willing to die for their emperor. They would not surrender. They would kill himself first.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. They didn't want to dishonor their emperor or their ancestors.
Yeah, that's true. They have a really cultural influence, the honor thing.
Then long after the war, I went to Japan and interviewed some of these veterans, and we became close friends. We corresponded with one for about 15 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So I understood what they went through.
Yeah, of course.
Wow.
In a war, of course, there's two sides, but at the end of the day, you were all just men doing your job. So yeah, that's
we were all what's called faithful warriors. Both sides were. You see?
So how do you think your life in the military, because you spent so much time here in the military, how do you think that life, made you the person you are today?
Well, absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm a writer, and I've written a lot about that and a lot of other subjects as well. So I'm a historian, World War II, and had a lot of experience in writing about it.
Yeah,
and you can find all that on my website. There are many manuscripts in there.
Yeah, I check your website and it's really interesting.
Oh yeah, it answers a lot of stuff.
It has a lot of stuff.
Now, when did you go to it? When?
He was saying, when did you go to the website?
Yesterday, I think you
yesterday.
guys,
all right. Well, you're right with him. Okay.
I posted a link to your website yesterday, Dean. When we
you
announced
did. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. All right.
Good. I know better. I know you like to plug the website, so I was just getting ahead of the game.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a lot of information there for sure. There's a lot of information there for sure.
Yeah, of course.
3 books, and they're all. I've
There you
read
go.
Warriors.
There you go. Yeah. Then there's some of those manuscripts are one's about Civil War. It's called Boots and Saddles, and there's about the Revolutionary War. It's called I forget the names now, but anyway, that's in there too.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, how about one more question, and then
yeah,
get someone else in here. Go ahead.
Okay. Talking about mental health problems, how do you think? I know the war affected a lot of people psychologically. It was really hard. Depression, anxiety, PTSD. Did you suffer any of this, or do you know?
No, and we didn't even know anything about that term up until the latest combat. But yes, I'm sure it did affect us, but we didn't realize it. Didn't affect me in that way, in that matter.
Okay, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you very much.
Well, from Madrid, I'll be darned. Okay.
Thank you very much.
This is the one from Colombia.
The traffic is still terrible in Madrid, huh?
Yeah, no.
Oh, geez. You get there faster walking than by car.
Yeah.
You're downtown.
That happens a lot.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Oh, my.
Traffic
All right, Tobias, good to see you.
One last thing.
Okay.
I really like your hat, but
I like that hat, huh?
But I don't think you are a retired Marine, because once a Marine, always a Marine, sir.
Always a Marine, that is correct.
Semper Fi, sir.
Right.
To you.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Cool. Good to see you, Tobias.
Good to see you too. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Wow.
All the way from Colombia.
Pretty incredible, huh, Dean?
Oh, that's right. I said, what? He wasn't Madrid. He was Colombia. Yeah.
He was Colombia, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I know a lot about Colombia. I know about Bogota. I know about that. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Let's see who else we got here. Matthew Aronson. I think we've met Matthew before.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
What? He wasn't.
Hey, Matthew.
Hey guys, what's up?
Not much.
All right,
You're on with Mr. Dean Ladd.
Okay, wow, good thing I joined early. Okay, so for anyone who wants to do the live chat, join very early, like as soon as this starts, because it can be a hell of a wait.
It's good advice.
It's good to see you, Colonel. I have a ton of questions. And
Where are you? What's your first name?
My name is Matthew Aronson.
Matthew. I have a grandson whose name is Matthew. And where do you live?
Chicago, Illinois, and I am
Chicago. Okay. The
and
fellow
I'm
that co-authored my book, Faithful Warriors, is from Chicago.
Oh, wow.
Okay, go ahead.
And I'm 26 years old.
26. All right.
All right. Well, I'm glad I looked you up before this, so I made my questions pretty clear. I know someone mentioned the Pacific earlier, and I actually read a book dedicated to those guys. But I've read this. By the time the 8th Marines got to Guadalcanal, I'm curious. I know the 1st Marine Division, when they got there, they had a bunch of old equipment, old Springfield.
Yeah, they had the old 3 rifles, right.
What about you guys?
And the flat hats, yeah.
What about you guys? What did you have?
New stuff already, or did you have to, or were you also equipped with old Thompsons and old Springfield?
Yeah, we had the old equipment as well. Now, one of our regiments, the 2nd Regiment, was part of the 1st Division group. They landed at Tulagi, you see, which is just across the sound from Guadalcanal.
Oh.
Our sound's off. No, okay.
No, I'm fine.
All right.
We got you.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought you were going to continue.
No, that's it. That's it.
Darn, I got a lot of questions here. Yeah, I'm curious about did you ever run into anyone using the Rising submachine gun, the M50?
Yeah, and the problem with that was we were short of weapons, and we'd accept anything that that was produced. And the trouble is that it couldn't withstand rusting. Parts would rust.
Yeah,
it's practically a worthless weapon.
I actually remember reading in my book.
Yeah.
One of the books I had, they mentioned that, but they also mentioned that if you're going to go on patrol, some of them had Thompsons with drum magazines and.
Oh yeah, well yeah, that too. You can imagine that.
The stick mags.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
And also, this is the first time we used flamethrowers, by the way, towards the end of that campaign.
Oof. That was terrifying.
Yeah, but I just remembered reading in my book that in order to actually, well, they would rarely ever surrender, but in order to actually get a prisoner, you'd have to actually, if you were going to go on patrol, what was better, taking a gun with a rattling magazine or a gun that would hardly work? Options. Those are your two options.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
But no, yeah, so Tara, were you injured on the first day of the battle?
Yeah, no, second day. When the second day, yeah.
So you were part of the wave of reinforcements that came in.
Yeah, we landed on Red 2, which is just to the right of the pier. But we could not shoot back because the ones that had landed before, they were all held up right at the beach. You see, you couldn't shoot back. So and Japanese were just inland from them shooting at us. Horrible.
Yeah, I got a question. I know on the first day of the battle, well, you guys didn't know this, and no one in the command knew this, but the commander.
No, we didn't know that. Murphy's Law. We didn't know.
No, the commander of the Japanese garrison had been killed.
Oh yeah, yeah. They thought we were going to land from the ocean side. Yeah, they had most of their defenses are on the ocean side.
Yeah, but the commander.
They were well covered on both ends actually. they had to shift their forces over.
Yeah. I'm also curious. What did you? Well, you probably did. What was the night like of the largest bonsai attack in the Pacific? Like, and what are specifics you remember about it? Like leading up to after.
Well, what happened was, see, that was on, the 6th, I think the 6th of July, and they decided to make a bonsai attack. Everybody just keep going until they themselves were killed, and to take as many of our lives as possible. So they just poured through by the thousands. 3,000 were killed. And the next day, I had gotten wounded myself by our own artillery, and I've been in the hospital for 2 days. And I was then all walking wounded had to be released and go up and to wipe out any that were still alive from that attack. So here I am back up there with my arm in a sling, and here now I am the company commander, for God's sakes, my arm in a sling. And so I went back to get my arm dressed to the aid station. I walked right through where 40 more that night were killed. Imagine it. Then we had to bury thousands of bodies, probably 3,000 bodies. There's a picture of that. There's a picture of that in my book.
I got a question. How cautious were you guys around the Japanese dead? Because I know there were occasions.
Oh yeah, there's some. There were some. They're playing dead, but yeah, and lots of time they were just shot. If they're playing dead, just make sure they were dead. Yeah, it's true.
What was your primary armament? Was it an M1 carbine or was it the standard?
Yeah, I had the carbine at that time. Yeah, it's true.
Also, I was hoping, like, what was your reaction to did you see the people jumping off the cliffs on Saipan, or what was your reaction?
Oh, I saw them. I didn't see them jumping off, but it was happening all the time. I was there towards the last few days. But then I became a company commander the last 3 or 4 days on Tinian. And as we came to the last cliff going east, they were all, that's as far as they could go, and they wouldn't surrender. They all just jumped off the cliff and killed themselves. Hundreds of them did it. Yeah.
That's crazy. So we went there last year to the cliffs, and I got to tell you, it's
haunting.
It's crazy because, like,
yeah, it was incredible.
So
we couldn't believe it, well, of course, we'd seen earlier than that, a week earlier, right after we landed on Tinian, they got through our lines at night and were going after our artillery. And so I was the executive officer of the company, and I took the major part of the company as a line of skirmishers to wipe these people out. Well, as we were moving to wipe them out, rather than them shoot at us, they killed themselves one by one with a hand grenade held to their chest.
Wow.
So as we approached a shell hole, there'd be a Japanese in that hole, bang, killed himself rather than shoot at us. We had a few wounded, but they themselves, probably at least 100 that killed themselves with their hand grenades.
There was
Imagine it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. That's the first night. That's the first night on Tinian.
I mean, that's not in our culture as Americans, and we're gonna fight.
Oh, not at all. No.
No.
But they were all told. From the time they were kids, they were told to not be captured, to kill yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was an honor to take your own life for the emperor and for your ancestors. Yeah.
Wow.
So
that's all part of what's called the Bushido Code.
Right.
Yeah.
So back to Tinian, I'm curious. Were you guys? I know that was like one of the first landings we using amphibious tractors, alligators, to get to the beach. Did you land in a regular?
No, we use them. We use them on Tarawa too. You see, that's
right, Tarawa. That's what I was going.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Were you guys briefed on the coral reef, or
Well, we knew there was a reef there, but we thought that the tide would be sufficient at that particular time of the day to get us over the reef. we had to clear the reef by 3 feet to get over. Well, what happened was we got delayed going in because their artillery, they're shooting at our transports, and our transports had to move further out. So it took us longer to come in by the landing boats, and the tide had already started to go back out. We could not get over the reef.
Oh, wow.
So we had hundreds and hundreds that were killed because of that.
So how deep was the water post reef? Was it like up to your like waist?
It was waist deep, waist deep.
Oh, wow.
See, I got hit just above the waterline where it hit my abdomen.
Oh, wow.
I also know like Tarawa was like one of the islands where you guys almost didn't take any prisoners. There were almost no prisoners. There were like 17 Japanese who actually, Japanese soldiers who surrendered.
Very few. There were very few captured. Very few. Almost none.
Did you run into? I'm also curious. Did you run into? Well, I also watch a lot of documentaries, Against the Odds, Lost Evidence, a whole lot of great old stuff. But yeah, I'm also
every day as well.
But yeah, I'm also. Did you run into any what you'd call forced labor battalions? Because that's something that I remember hearing on Guadalcanal.
Well, yes, on Tarawa, they did have a forced labor battalion. They were Koreans.
Yeah,
and they were all killed too.
I know that
there's some that were captured, of course.
A larger amount of.
And I think there were only about, as I recall, I think it was only about 17 Japanese plus Korean laborers. Yeah, that were captured.
Yeah, I'm also curious about like when I know you guys didn't know about this, but the commander of the Japanese garrison on Tarawa was killed the first day.
Shibasaki.
Yeah. So you guys were essentially fighting against what I would call weak, well, ill-coordinated resistance, but it was effective. But that's why they never fully attacked on like day 2. And
they weren't able to. They couldn't get their act together. No, they couldn't. They just stayed in their. They stayed in their bunkers, and as a rule, we didn't even see them getting killed. They were in their bunkers. So we were always shot by somebody from a bunker somewhere you didn't know where.
What was also what was your first combat experience like on Guadalcanal? I mean, I know you weren't part of the guys who were starving for the first couple months with Vandegrift on.
No.
But what was the campaign like from November onwards? Like.
Well, okay, my first close call was I got into a duel with a sniper, and he just winged another officer in the shoulder, and I lay down in the tall grass with my glasses. And I saw a leg hanging down from the tree about 100 yards away. And about that same time, he spotted me. He shot at me, knocked dirt in my face, and then I killed him. So that was the first experience. And then there's many other experiences afterwards. But that was the first very close call.
Wow. All right, Matthew, we got time for one more question.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Great. No pressure here. Oh, man. Again, I asked a lot of the questions I had, but okay, let me think.
Or maybe you don't have to ask another question, but
no, I do. I'm enjoying myself very much here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, what was your impression when you first got the M1 Garand compared to your Springfield that you trained with for a while?
No question, it's a big improvement, I'll tell you. Yeah. Big improvement.
Quite a gun.
And also, I guess
semi-automatic.
The only thing is that for marksmanship, you could not better the 03, could not. But for combat, where you want to just bang, 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 and also the BAR, of course, is a big advantage,
Monster.
Oh yeah.
Automatic.
I've seen some old photos of the Guadalcanal campaign.
Semi-automatic.
Did you guys have some of the older BARs, like from World War I, just like the 1918 model?
It could be. It could be. Yeah. I don't know how it started out, but yeah, it could very well be. I don't think there's any changes made to them, to my knowledge. We were just running out of weapons, and we would accept anything, like including the rising gun.
How many of you guys removed the bipods from those things? You see a lot of the guys just take the bipods off of the BAR.
Oh, yeah, we were selling on the BAR. No, we didn't use it. We didn't matter. No, they were on, we didn't use the bipods on them. To my knowledge, no. And also, this is the first time we use flamethrowers too, you know, and also it's the first time we use shotguns.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Did you
yeah.
guys- what kind of shells did you guys have for those things? Was it like just paper shells? Because I know those have a problem in human environments like Guadalcanal environment.
I hadn't thought about that, but you're probably right. No, it's probably regular shotgun shells. Yeah.
But yeah, how many Thompsons did you see? Because I know like that wasn't a super common weapon in the Pacific, but
The Thompson?
Yeah.
No, we didn't have very many of them. No, that's the reason we started getting the Rising. That's supposed to take the place, 45 caliber. But they couldn't withstand the rust, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Couldn't
The first,
understand.
yeah, fun
No,
story.
yeah.
The commander of the 1st Marine Raider Battalion, I think Merritt Edson said,
Yeah.
throw those
Oh, yeah.
things in the river. They're crap.
Yeah.
Field because they suck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know, but the Rising apparently they just didn't test it for the environments that it would be in. It's like, okay, this
No,
works in
not
the
at all,
range.
no.
We're gonna use it.
That was not one of the requirements they had to meet.
Yeah, no.
I
It
don't
was
think
better-
they had any. I don't think they had any quality assurance at all. To tell you the truth.
it was better. It was better as a police weapon because I know it was better at that when it was like in urban environments where it didn't have to worry about rust or dirt or any of that kind of stuff. Also, when it
Well, they were strictly for take the place of weapons that we didn't have.
Well, cool.
Very
Matt
cool.
or Matthew, thanks
Matt,
for coming
Matt.
by, man.
Great
Yeah,
question.
Yeah, Matt. Thanks for calling.
Yeah,
Oh,
great.
You know your
awesome.
stuff.
Awesome. Thank you, buddy.
Good to see you.
All
Ian.
right.
All right, see you
Good to
guys.
see you too. Yeah, these guys know a lot of stuff.
I can't believe it.
They
You
do-
know that.
they do their homework.
How do they know,
Oh yeah.
how do they know it? Wow.
All right, let's get Caleb in here. I know Caleb, he's always got a lot of good questions. Another young kid. Is he there? Is he there? He's connecting. How you feeling, Dean?
I'm doing good. I'm doing fine.
Getting fatigued yet?
No, we've been at it now a little over an hour. What, 16 minutes?
All right,
Well,
there's Caleb.
well, yeah.
Hello,
Hello.
How old are
Hey,
you?
Caleb.
Hi, Caleb. How old are you?
I am 14, sir.
14.
Yes, sir.
My daughter's first birth name was Caleb. He died at birth. Caleb was his name. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Wow. Cool. How you doing, Caleb?
How you doing today, Caleb?
I'm doing excellent now since
Where
I
do you
got
live, Caleb? Where's your home?
North Carolina.
Okay. All right.
I wanted to say it's such an honor to be able to talk to you, Mr. Dean. It just really makes my day to be able to talk to you.
Well, thank you for stating that.
Yes, sir. Just thank you for your service and sacrifice.
So what are your questions? What do you want to know? And by the way, have you been to my website yet?
No, sir, I haven't yet.
That's what you got to do because all your questions are going to be all answered on there. But go ahead, shoot what you have. Let's see what you
All
got.
your questions will be answered to go to deanladd.com. All your life's questions will be
This
answered.
Dean Ladd.
No.
Dean Ladd works.
Yes, Dean Ladd works.
All right.
All
Go ahead.
right. So firstly, I want to ask the same question I ask most veterans I meet. Do you have any advice for like the generations coming up now?
Advice for the generations now, huh?
Yes, sir.
Well, you know, I find that in the schools they are not putting much emphasis on history anymore. Probably very little on. Probably nobody's ever heard of Tarawa as an example. Who knows? So that's one thing. But then right now, what's going on? There's a big cultural shift going on that you may probably aware of, and we don't know where this is all going to end. It's got bad bad possibilities. Go ahead. What kind of question do you have?
I was wondering how it was like the last day the Japanese had that massive bayonet charge on us, like where were you? Because I know I was watching.
Oh, that's on the Banzai. You're talking about the Banzai attack on Saipan, I guess.
I was wondering about that because I read that they thought most of the Japanese were like already dead and that a lot of people had turned in their weapons and stuff.
No, you're missing it. I don't know what you're getting at right now. Go ahead, try it again.
Okay.
What island you talking about? What point in time?
The Banzai attack.
The Banzai attack in Saipan.
Yeah, he was saying like they didn't think there was any more Japanese there, so they'd already turned in their weapons when the attack happened. Is that true?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh no, that was a complete surprise. We knew there's a lot there, but they wouldn't surrender. We knew they wouldn't surrender. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
Now the person. Now here's something. Now you're bringing up something that the officers leading that charge, Nagumo, was the one that attacked Pearl Harbor.
Oh, interesting.
Think about that now. Now he committed suicide at that point in time. Nagumo did.
Yes, sir.
So he did not lead the charge. He stayed back, said, "Take off, you guys. Everybody move out, and kill as many as you can, and then kill yourself." He himself committed harikiri, suicide, right after he gave that command. Same one that attacked Pearl Harbor. Okay?
Wow. Wow.
So now you've got an answer that not many people know about that. Maybe.
There you go. Well, Caleb, you got anything else?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll give you one more question.
Okay. Were you did you fight in the Battle of the Philippines like at Leyte Gulf?
No, I wasn't in the Philippines. No.
Okay.
No, I was started at Guadalcanal, November 1942, and the last was on August the 2nd or so, in 42 on Tinian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Caleb, it's good to see you again.
Yeah, good, Caleb.
Oh wait, before I go, I wanted to show you this. I actually got one of y'all's hats.
Nice.
I don't know if you can see it or not.
Yep.
But I just wanted to say it was an honor to talk to you. I just love learning about history, like all time periods. My favorite will always be World War II. That's the time that really got me into history.
You are very amazing for your age. I know of any 14-year-olds that have these kind of questions even to ask.
Yep, it's really cool to see. Really cool to see.
It's good to know that the youth are learning and remembering history. You'll never be forgotten. All the deeds that you guys did.
You probably would like to become a teacher and maybe even be a professor at college teaching history. That might be for you.
Yes, sir.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Well, Caleb, thanks for coming by.
Thanks, Caleb. Always great to see you. Looking good.
It's such an honor to talk to you, Mr. Dean, and I'm so glad you guys give us the opportunity to talk to World War II veterans.
Absolutely.
Have you been down to Camp Lejeune? You know where that is?
I don't know, sir. I haven't been there.
See, that's where the Marines are stationed. The 2nd Marine Division is stationed at Camp Lejeune.
Huh.
Oh. Cool.
I had
okay. All right.
One question because I think he's passed on unfortunately about 2 years ago, but I had a family member who I think was either in the 1st or 2nd Marine Division. His name was Oscar Franklin, and he was a Marine messenger runner. I know he's part of the Arnhem campaigns. I can't quite remember if he was there in 1942 or not, but I was kind of curious if you knew him or not.
No, that name doesn't ring a bell.
Try.
You don't know what you don't know what division he was in for sure.
No, sir, I don't. I know he's part of the Iron Harper campaign, though. I know he was at, I think, was Okinawa.
Oh, Okinawa. Oh, that's the last one. You see, that's the last fighting before the surrender.
Yes, sir. I know he was at
Before the bomb was dropped. Yeah.
Those island campaigns.
Yeah.
Yeah. For
In
sure.
fact, we're going to have somebody with us from Okinawa, maybe, on this trip coming up to Hawaii. Guy named McCullum.
Cool. All right, Caleb. We'll
Thank
talk
you.
to you soon, I'm sure.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
man, looking good, buddy.
Thank,
Like
thank
the
you
shirt.
for giving me the opportunity to talk to you, Mr. Dean. I just want to tell you it's such an honor to be able to speak to you, sir, and that we will never forget you.
Appreciate your comment.
Absolutely. All right. Bye, Caleb.
God bless you, Mr. Dean. Have an excellent day, and thank you for your service and sacrifice.
Yeah, you made my day. Thank you.
Pretty cool, huh, Dean?
Wow, pretty
Oh, I just can't believe it. You're going to have people like that young that know so much. I can't believe it.
It's so interesting in what you guys did so many years ago. That's special. That makes you feel good, doesn't it?
Well, it does. But, this is so extraordinary that we will have a few that are like this.
Right.
Yep. And now you got another one. Adam, how's it going?
Going good. Hello, Mr. Dean.
Well, hi there. How old are you?
17. Just turned 17 a couple months ago.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Where do you live?
St. Louis, Missouri.
All right. Okay. Well, that's where my
That's
where my my daughter has a farm there, and just west of St. Louis. Yeah. Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Dean's got connections everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Sure does.
All right.
Like everybody's like, "Oh, you're from here? Yeah, I know somebody there."
Yeah.
a lot of people around the world.
Yep.
Well,
go ahead, Adam.
We started out with people from halfway around the world. Now,
Yes.
now we got a few here within the country.
Right
Yes.
on.
So one of the questions I have is, how long were you on the island of Iwo Jima? The campaign, I mean.
I wasn't on Iwo Jima. We visited last year.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I was. My last campaign was on Tinian.
Oh.
Leading up to that, yeah.
Yeah, because a couple months ago, I watched this documentary called World War II in High Definition, and it talked about some of the campaigns at Tinian and Saipan from the eyes of a news reporter named Robert Sherrod.
Oh, sure.
Yes,
Sure.
and also another thing was there's this YouTube video where unfortunately this Marine, his name was Marvin Strombo, passed away this year, earlier a couple months ago, I think.
Yeah.
But it was a story about, I think he was on Tinian, that he found a flag from a Japanese soldier that had died.
Yeah.
And he made a vow to return the flag. And in 2017, he returned the flag to the family. They
Mhm.
found family,
Sure.
contacted them, and
Yeah.
he became famous for that, which,
Yeah. I returned a lot of personal effects to the Japanese families, and I received some very interesting responses. And then also I have been to Japan and interviewed the Japanese combat veterans, and we became very close friends.
nice. So what were some of the items you returned? Like, were they katanas or flags or whatever else they could be?
Well, in my case, it was a diary was one,
All
and
right.
he told in the diary, his instructions were for his wife to remarry. She had remarried, and she felt guilty about it. When she saw this, she felt so good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, think of it.
Yeah.
And also, the media picked this up, and they really went all out, all about. And there's a picture, a whole bunch of them looking at a photograph and smiling. And there's a photograph I had picked up on Guadalcanal from a body of a Japanese.
Okay.
And it turned out it was not on Guadalcanal, but it was back in China. Imagine, and they'd all survived, and they're all laughing. Look funny in that picture. We're all alive. Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
also,
What if-
oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. I also have the coin here, the challenge coin from the virtual D-Day walk. And when I first
cool.
got it, I noticed this side of the flag raising in Iwo Jima. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yes.
those are cool coins.
That's an iconic photo. And you talk about the Marine Corps. I know that photo means a lot to guys like Dean and everyone that served.
Look at this right here. See this right here?
Yes.
That is wait a minute, let's get it here. You see that? That's where 6,000 Marines were killed right back there, and twice that many Japanese. You see that?
Wow.
See
Yep.
that?
Yes.
I'm standing on Mount Suribachi a year ago right there.
Wow.
That
Also,
was quite an experience.
Yeah, it was incredible.
I also got a lot of books here, a couple of them signed by Marines. One of them was a guy named Chuck Tatum, who landed on Iwo Jima. I was wondering, have you ever heard of him besides from the miniseries, from the Pacific miniseries?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
You don't recognize the name, no.
Okay.
Now, when we went last year, we went to Iwo Jima. On the return, on the same plane, Martha McCullum, the famous Fox News commentator, was there. I left her my card, and she's going to be doing a documentary, my story about me, sometime.
Okay.
Her uncle was killed there. Marine was killed there. Yeah.
Yeah, she just released her book actually. Wow.
Yeah, and I have her book. It's very good, very well done. In fact, the fellow that did a lot of the dug out about the information is a young fellow, college graduate, just graduated from college in Pennsylvania, and he's my go-between between her and me.
Got it.
And his first name is Dean, by the way, too, Dean Arbaugh.
Oh, right on.
And you probably know him because he knows about all you people, Donnie.
Yeah.
Dean Arbaugh. You know, you run into him, haven't you?
I have. Yes, I have.
Yeah, because he's kind of like a girlfriend was, what's her name, that was with us, one of your staff. And so Liberty, good friend. And he knew all about her.
Right. Right.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Small community for sure.
Boy, it is a small community.
Hey, Adam,
Yeah.
you have to get Dean Ladd's book. He has 3 books that are written. If you go to his website, you can pick them up there or also on Amazon.
Yeah, there you go.
Warriors is the book that I've read. And I think you should add that definitely to your collection. And
The problem is that that one is, they're not keeping up with the supply, you see? So the prices just keep going, supply and demand, the prices keep going up.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what's
And-
happening right now.
Crazy.
Have you ever, and also this book called The Voices of the Pacific, it's written by a guy named Adam Makos. This book I really enjoy because it takes it. Let me see here. I got to count how many. It takes the accounts of 11 Marines from those who were from at Guadalcanal to Okinawa, New Britain, Peleliu, and Iwo Jima.
Yeah.
And I like the book a lot. They basically, the Marines tell about what they saw, and it's told from their perspectives. It's the author does the introduction, takes a step back, and lets the Marines tell the stories, which I really
Very
do
good.
like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tell you.
I revisited some of those places where the First Division was in. Yeah.
Yeah,
back years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. I tell you, Adam, what's special, what you just talk about hearing the voices from the first person. I mean, you have
Oh yeah. Wonderful.
Mr. Dean Ladd, who's 99 years old, who's been in the Marine Corps for over 30 years, all the different campaigns. I mean, and you can read his book, hear his stories directly from him and say, like, I met this guy, I know this guy, and to hear his story, you know, because it's detailed in his book is pretty amazing. And
Now, if you can't find that book from Amazon.com, they're temporarily out. Just go to podcast, Jocko Podcast. My number is 202, and that book is read over. It takes 3 hours to read through it.
Okay.
So you can get it. He does a terrific job. Jocko does a terrific job in reading it.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, Adam, give us one more.
Oh, I guess got a few more questions, and one of them regarding the. Pardon?
One more
question.
Okay. What advice would you give to the next generation, like mine or any future generation?
Keep in mind of the past generations that have fought for their country, and that freedom is not free. It has to be won each time. Every time there's something that comes up to change our whole system of life, be against it. Fight it. Fight for the freedoms we already have, rather than placing everything under government control.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And before I go, I want to say thank you, Mr. Dean, for your service. Thank you for what you did.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for fighting for my freedom. And Donnie,
appreciate your
Austin,
comment.
Thank you. Donnie and Austin, thank you for what you do. I enjoy doing this so much. And I hope you keep on doing these in the future, because I really love this stuff.
We have no plans of stopping.
Yeah, especially during this.
As long as they're here, we'll keep doing it.
All right.
Thank you for joining. Thank you for being a part of the conversation.
You're welcome.
Make sure you get his book.
I will. Thank you.
All
right.
All right. Bye. All right.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah. So cool.
Dean, what do you think?
I just can't believe it. He was 14.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Yeah. It really makes you feel good, doesn't it, to know like this
Well,
next generation is
it
so
shows that we don't. The new generation isn't all stupid. Gee whiz.
Yeah. Hey, Dean, I had a couple of questions before I let you go. I had a couple of questions too, because my father, he fought in the Pacific in the Army, and I noticed that you have a different perspective on the Japanese. Until my grandfather's last days on Earth, he never forgave the Japanese. He always never was able to let that go. And
I know. I ran into people like that. It was embarrassing for me when that happened. I ran into a number of times.
yeah, I mean, some people.
Well, that's just their makeup, and
for everyone, right?
Oh yeah.
So, what was it for you to finally put that to rest and?
Well, I never had that kind of a problem myself. I don't know why. I don't know, because it's hard to say. No, my mind just didn't move that way.
Yeah. Is that because
they were all faithful warriors. Both sides were. And they were so devoted to never surrender. It would be a dishonor to their emperor and to their ancestors. Yeah, it's incredible.
True. Yeah, it's really interesting to see the way that the devotion of the Japanese. It's incredible.
As an example, I talked to this one, Akio Tani, first. And then at the same trip, I also talked to Sekai Oba. Now, Tani told me that he should have committed harikiri even now. I thought, well, he's kidding me. But he was sort of kind of a way serious about it, too. Oh, my God.
Yeah. Hey, did you ever meet Guy Garibaldi?
Oh, of course. Gabaldon.
Gabaldon,
Yeah,
yeah.
Gabaldon. Now, what about him? What about him?
Yeah, so you knew him pretty well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, in fact, a relative of his, Diane Gabaldon, wrote a series of books about time travel. And one of them, the first one, is about in Scotland, and it's very famous up there. It really facilitates the tourist activity. So there's a connection. Her last name is the same name as one of Guy's on a paternal side. And I haven't gotten to the bottom exactly. I haven't talked to Diane direct.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's there, you know. So I met Guy when I visited Saipan, and it was through him that I found out where Captain Oba, where our paths had crossed. Our paths crossed. And so with that, I visited Oba in Japan, and sure enough, we hit it off. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And Guy Baldwin almost got killed by this guy, too. So he had the outs on the guy eventually, too. But not me. No, he became a close friend. I became close friends of him.
Yeah. So we know his story from
And this is him right. This is him right there. See, that's him.
Oba.
That's
Oh.
Oba.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, last year when we were in Saipan,
Yeah.
was it Oba's grandson who worked at the hotel that we were going to meet? Remember this?
That would be his son.
His son. His son.
Yeah,
okay.
and you know, we almost made connections.
Yeah.
For some reason or other, there was a lack. We couldn't make connections to be able to talk to on the phone. He knew I was there and so on, but we never actually had a chance to talk.
Yeah, we tried to make it.
Now, I knew him last time I met him when I was with Mitt Gavalden. He was only 18 years old, and he was a dancer. He danced the Tahitian type dancing at one of the nightclubs there on Saipan. Yeah, small
Nice.
world.
Yeah, really cool. Really cool.
Well, we got time for one more, you think?
Sure.
All right, let's bring in one more.
Right.
I know this person's been waiting here for a while, so hopefully they're still here. Let's find out.
How come we have
Great.
no women, do we? Huh? No girls, no female.
Yeah, we
Okay.
got Spain.
Sometimes we get girls in here. You never
Yeah.
really know who they're going to be when you invite them in. Grayson, you there? Can you hear us? Can you hear us, Grayson?
Yep.
All right, we can hear you too.
You're here.
Okay.
Perfect. You're live with Mr. Dean Ladd.
Hi there.
Oh, I just realized. Sorry.
What's your first name?
Sorry. I was playing the YouTube video in the background, so there's a lot of overlap. So my name is Grayson.
Grayson. Okay.
Yes. So first off, I'd like to say thank you very much for your service, sir. I'm very appreciative of everything you've done.
How old are you, and where do you live?
I'm 18. I'm in the foothills of California.
Okay. All right. Fresno. All right.
Yeah. So I have a few questions. And actually, if it's okay, I saw a couple other questions in the live chat that one of them was from someone who speaks Spanish, so I'm gonna try and translate them. So the first thing, when you were wounded and you were being operated on, what were your thoughts of the battle? Like, were you thinking of like how the tide of the battle was going? Were you worried?
You mean at the time that I was being operated on?
Yes. Or
Oh
in
no,
recovery?
I was in shock. I was conscious, and I was conscious of the look on the surgeon's face. Is he going to stay alive or not long enough to finish this operation? But other than that, no, I wasn't thinking back what had happened to me before. No, I was wondering myself, you know, gosh, you're there, cut me all wide open, and I can't see it. but I'm looking at the expressions on their faces, you know, and they were concerned.
Right.
Is he going to survive this or not?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was analyzing their expressions is what I was doing.
Right.
Let's see. I wrote my questions down. Let's see. So you served, you fought against the Japanese. Did you have any thoughts of the Germans too? Or was that ever like towards the front of your mind, or was that always kind of pushed out?
What about the Germans again?
Did you ever have any thoughts towards the Germans, being that you were fighting the Japanese?
No, not particularly. I just knew news-wise what was going on about the time of just after Stalingrad, as an example. And I remember one of our Marines was really sad because how can you be having a good, why are you partying and drinking while Stalingrad is being wounded, you know, going on like that.
Right. Let's see. Actually, most of my questions have already been asked by other people.
Oh, you have heard them all. Well, go to my website if you don't know about it. Go ahead.
Any other questions you got? You can go to his website.
Because
What was that?
we get cut off.
Anyway,
on.
Grayson, so and
Grayson.
you speak, it seems I've been watching your conversations here in the live chat. You speak pretty good Spanish.
Thanks. I like to think I do.
There's been like a whole other conversation going on here. I'm having to translate. I'm like, what are people even talking about?
Translate.
Yeah.
On Google translating like this whole thing. I'm like, what's going on here?
I've taken 4 years of Spanish, and
there you go.
I just graduated from high school. Actually, I'm going to Baylor University in Texas, and I'm going to study military history. And I don't know if I want to go straight into museum studies. I want to work with veterans service, kind of like social services, but I don't know exactly if I would do that as my career or more volunteer work. I haven't decided, but that's generally what I want to do. And then also I want to take German in college.
Right on.
Very cool.
Well, now wait a minute. Now you're from Fresno, and you normally speak Spanish, or you're learning Spanish?
I'm learning Spanish.
Learning. Okay. All right. Okay.
Learn German now. Next.
We want to learn
And
German.
and you how old are you again?
I'm 18.
Oh, 18. All right.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
That's
very cool. Well, Grayson, it was really cool to meet you. I hope we can see you again. Like, keep coming back for these.
Yes.
And, it's really cool that your aspirations for the future. I definitely admire that. I like.
Thank you.
Do you have any aspirations to join the military?
I've thought about that, and I definitely would want to, but my passion is World War II veterans, and I feel like if I join the military and I do that first, then that would kind of limit my options to do in that order, because unfortunately it's really sad to think about, but we're running out of time with great men like Mr. Ladd here.
Oh, we know how that is.
Yeah.
We lose our friends far too often. So
yeah,
right now there's definitely a sense of urgency to get these stories, to talk with these guys and learn as much as we can while we still have them here to hear from the horse's mouth. So so I definitely get that. Commendable.
Well,
Commendable.
Thank you.
You're talking with Mr. Ladd and making that connection today in 2020, which is really special.
Yeah. For sure. Well, cool. Grayson, it was great to meet you. Hopefully we'll see you again. And if you want to say one last thing, Mr. Dean, go for it.
Yes, absolutely. Well, again, thank you for your service, and I can't wait to be in more live streams with you guys. God bless.
All right. Thanks. Good to meet you.
Good to meet you.
All right. Well, Mr. Ladd, we'll let you get back to your life. Probably got a nice nap lined up. Huh?
Hour and 44 minutes, huh? How about that?
He's keeping track of the time. Like, oh boy.
Fast, doesn't it?
Well, that's incredible. How many of these have you done?
I think this is probably, we've done well over a dozen. So I don't know.
Over a dozen.
I don't know what number this is, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, when you played that video at the beginning, that's incredible. That's the first time I've seen all of that before.
What?
Wow.
Come on, Austin.
What? That's not possible.
Hey, where did I miss it? Where is it? How can somebody else
It's
listen
on
to the whole
YouTube.
thing?
I'll send your daughter a link.
On YouTube. All right. Okay.
Yeah, I'll send your daughter the link.
Come on, Austin.
I don't know about all that. All right. Well, cool. Dean, it was so good to talk to you and have you on here and let the world, people from all over the world, get to talk to you and hear your stories. And I'm sure you're going to have a lot of people going to deanladworks.com after this one. So
yeah. Tell your wife hello for me too, will you?
Will do.
Well, Dean, just to echo what Austin said, it's been a pleasure and an honor. It's good to see your face, hear your voice. You're still going strong and telling your story. You're still writing. I love that. You keep it going, and I look forward to linking up next month if that's going to happen for us. All right.
Yeah. The probability is that it's a go, is it?
Yeah.
To you? Yeah.
I'll update you this week coming up.
Yeah.
And we're moving forward. And it's
Now, I heard on the website, on the internet, that there are between 5,000 and 10,000 people that will be there. Have you heard anything like that?
I don't know the
Or is
numbers.
that a bunch of baloney?
I don't know the numbers yet. We're still trying to work out the details. With
Yeah. And it's all going to be on the adjacent dock, right?
What's that?
Be on the adjacent dock where the battleship is berthed,
I'm not sure.
right?
Yeah.
We don't know. Okay. Now I got that information, that particular information. The fellow by Maine, the last name is McCullum. And he said he is going with us. And you don't know about him?
No, we'll talk
there?
later. So we'll talk.
I guess we can work out those details
all
later.
right.
Yeah.
Well,
All right, Dean.
All right.
Thank you for joining us with this conversation. It means a lot to
Yeah, okay.
around the world, and we'll continue the conversation. All right.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
very good. Good
And
talking to you
anybody
both.
who didn't get in this time, sorry, we'll get you in next time. Thank you all for tuning in, and let's all remember these guys because they're our heroes and they paved the way for our freedoms that we have today. And we
Hey, are
thank
the
you so much
guys
for
all
that.
still alive that went out last year? Are they still all alive?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
they're all
good,
still
good.
alive. That's good
All right.
news.
Good.
All right. Well, signing off.